Hello friends, do you know what is meaning of sexual violence? The incidence of sexual violence is pervasive as it is being reported across the world on daily basis. Although in most countries there has been little research conducted on the problem, available data suggests that in some countries nearly 1 in 4 women may experience some type of sexual violence by an intimate partner or a stranger, and up to 1/3 of adolescent girls report their first sexual experience as being forced. So in this video I will discuss the meaning and consequences of sexual violence. Let's start with the first question, that is, what is meaning of sexual violence? As defined by WHO, any sexual act, attempt to obtain a sexual act, unwanted sexual comments or advances, or acts to traffic or otherwise directed against a person's sexuality, using coercion by any person regardless of their relationship to the victim, in any setting, including but not limited to home and work. It means sexual violence is any sexual act or attempt to obtain a sexual act by violence or coercion, acts to traffic a person or acts directed against a person's sexuality regardless of the relationship to the victim. So any such type of force, coercion intended to sexual favor or sexual act is defined as sexual violence. Now the next question is, what are the forms of sexual violence? A wide range of sexually violent acts can take place in different circumstances and settings. For example, rape within marriage or dating relationships, rape by strangers, systematic rape during armed conflict, unwanted sexual advances or sexual harassment, including demanding sex in return for favors. Next, sexual abuse of mentally or physically disabled people, sexual abuse of children, forced marriage or cohabitation, including the marriage of children, denial of the right to use contraception or to adopt other measures to protect against sexually transmitted disease. Next, forced abortion, violent acts against the sexual integrity of women, including female genital mutilation and obligatory inspections for virginity, forced prostitution and trafficking of people for the purpose of sexual exploitation, or any such sexual activity that imposed or bargained or forced on women may be considered as sexual violence. Now the next question is, who are the victims of sexual violence? Most of the researchers, reports and studies focus on sexual violence against the women, and it is also true that women suffer disproportionately from sexual violence. But sexual violence is not limited to women, rather it includes women, men and children, as well as the people who define themselves in other terms, that is transgender individuals. Now the next question is, what are the consequences of sexual violence on victims? Sexual violence has a profound impact on physical and mental health. However, major consequences are causing physical injury, increasing risk of a range of sexual and reproductive health problems, with both immediate and long-term consequences. Adverse impact on mental health and may be long-lasting. HIV infection, next, may lead to criminal act, murder, may profoundly affect the social well-being of victims. Victims may be stigmatized and ostracized by their families and others as a consequence. Death as a result of suicide, etc. Now, the next question is, where do occur the incidents of sexual violence? This is very typical question, that the incidents of sexual violence is pervasive as it occurs in every country, every region, every province, every city, every town, every village. Likewise, no geographic region is left out. Now, the next question is, are the incidents of sexual violence religion, community, or profession specific? The simple answer is no, because it occurs in every religion, every community, every society, every caste, and in every profession. No aspect is left out. Now, the next question is, why are many of the cases of sexual violence not being reported? Significant reasons are, such incidents hardly anyone believe, fear of the attackers getting back at him or her, fear of being blamed, embarrassment or shame, pressure from others not to tell. Next, belief that there is not enough evidence, system is not supportive as harassing by asking shameful questions. Such reported cases are not justifiably addressed or yet to be addressed. Lengthy legal process. Next, perpetrators normally are either given minor punishment or even released in lack of evidence. Distrust of law enforcement, desire to protect the attacker in some cases. Now, the next question is, what are the associated terms of sexual violence? Following are the major terms more frequently used for the sexual violence, namely sexual abuse, rape, sexual assault, sexual harassment, and stalking. For detailed information, you can watch my videos which are exclusively developed on these terms. So, this is all about sexual violence.